What's going on, guys? Out in the garage, I've started a little bit of a project today on the UL, and wanted to talk to you guys about struts and specifically, the lengths and the offset. So I was telling you with this boat that I was having a hard time getting the CG forward enough, and so because of that, the front end was getting light, at 70 miles an hour. And I'm kind of limited just because the sponson length, compared to a pearl, the sponson length is relatively short compared to a very, very long body. And so you really don't have a ton of room, right? So usually on a hydro, you're going off of the turn fin, right? Or maybe like an inch back from the step. So because this is short, it puts the fin a little more forward, and basically you've got a really long body with weight, and you need the CG here, which means you literally have to have everything at the front. So this is why we've got wheel weights, stuff like that. So the long and short of it is that I've been messing around with extendo struts using a longer setback. There's an extra 1/2 inch here at the end. And what I found on some of my fast singles is that when you move the strut, right, when you extend the strut back an inch, you're essentially gaining ride surface. You're extending the length of the hull. And so similar to, you imagine like a long vehicle, like a bus compared to a small compact car, you're going to gain straight line stability as well as leverage over the front end, right? So if you're trying to go really fast, which, like I said, this boat was really not intended to do 70 miles an hour, which is what it's doing now. And so because of that, because I'm pushing it past its design, essentially extending the strut gives you, like I said, more leverage. But what I've found with my own testing is that if you extend the strut back about an inch, you're also essentially moving the CG of the boat forward roughly an inch. And this is not rocket science. It's not something that's exact, I should say. And your mileage may vary. This is just kind of what I've been testing and what I've found. And so on a boat like this, where it's flighty and I can't get the CG far enough forward, extending the strut will give me a similar effect. It should move the CG up about an inch, and it should keep the nose down without having to add an excessive amount of weight up front here. I don't want to keep adding these wheel weights. So, so basically all of that to say, I swapped, hope you guys can see this, swapped struts. Here was the original strut. If you could imagine, it ended right here. Right? So you guys are just going to have to trust me. We've gained 1.25 inches. So from here to here, it's about 1.25 inches. And so essentially what I had to do was I used a soldering iron to heat up this tube and pull the old one out. I had to use a longer tube. This is a Speedmaster bushing that slides in on a Speedmaster strut. It's a flat bottom for hydros. Just got done sealing up the bottom. The inside has been sealed, but that's drying, so I'm not going to move it right now. And essentially I'm going to go take it out tomorrow and test it. But if you have a flighty boat like a hydro, you notice this is it's short and it's wide. And so things that are short and wide, they like to fly. And so, keep in mind, obviously, there's other ways to accomplish this same thing. You could use a prop with more lift, which is what I'm doing. I've got an H5 series ABC prop. You could also run the strut